my big thing is like fear of failing. Like even if I do the thing, just sucking at it and then being like, boo, next, no, what were we thinking? You know what I mean?
Get her off the field.
Right?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Creative people, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Creatives Are Essential podcast, where we have
I'm power through
therapeutic conversations.
Come on.
For the creative mind. That's what it is.
Boom, pow.
It's been a while, guys. My name is Christina.
It's your boy Mark Lee.
Des.
Joe, walk on, friends.
And we back. So we missed an episode because of, health and safety protocols.
Yeah.
That's what the NBA saying. AKA
the vid done made its way into the village.
Yeah. It's out now. It's out. I wasn't gonna say no names.
Well, he said, man,
but just know.
So I just want to clarify.
All of the ones on the left didn't have it. So
yeah, my left. So didn't have it.
So
that still leaves you. Yeah, I just told on myself.
Yeah, you did. I was like,
yeah. I mean, it's not. I'm not tripping on it.
We can edit that out.
I had it covered. We can't.
Nah, we can't.
we can't. No, but yeah. I mean, yeah. It was.
But you're healthy.
I'm alive. Yeah,
you're
man.
alive.
Absolutely.
Some people, they
didn't
be struggling.
like seriously, man. Like I've heard, like I'm talking to a couple people like that had it before, and it was like I had it bad, but like it wasn't as bad as they've had it, and it can like the fact that it could be worse than what I experienced. Mm-hmm. Dear heaven, like
what was your experience?
Like it
and
started
I'm just
off,
gonna say, but like when he's normally sick, he's like falling apart at the seams. So like sick. Yeah,
because I don't get sick like often at all.
Right.
Like so when I do, it's like like the world stops. You know what I'm saying? But like it was like the first day I started kind of like feeling high, having a little bit of a fever or whatever, and I went to bed that night, and it was rough, like rough, and like the next day I'm talking about like I had like everything, like the fever, the chills. My body was aching. Like I couldn't do anything. I had the worst headache like ever. And it was just like a consistent headache. And I was taking the medicine of choice, Motrin. As you all like know, Motrin was kind of the move.
The infant pills.
It's like, yeah, I didn't have any like extra strength Tylenol. By the way, these like are my official pharmacists between Christina and
Are
Deb.
we though?
Like Christina be having them
I be having what?
You be having them drugs on deck. But
Drugs
Christina,
that
I
was
like,
helpful.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That you didn't take.
Well, only because my other pharmacist that was taking my stepmom was taking care of me, and she was just like, "Well, before we do this, use this," because she country too. She got a bunch of like stuff, and she
put onions on your ankles and wrap socks around with the Vicks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen. So, but I mean, she thank God for her. Like. Really came through. Her and my dad, they looked out for me. So, and Christina was nice enough to come and bring by medicine for me as well. No, I did not use it.
And I
was just following. She did. she's like, my stepmom was like, "Hey, you want to come?" And she's like, "No, fine."
No, I actually had work to do. So,
like, I'm straight.
That girl had a Nerf gun.
Here it is. Say
Yeah.
Tylenol in it. Yep. So,
But we back though. We here.
Hey.
I'm glad it's over with.
Shout out to those of you who actually missed us.
Yeah, for real.
There was a couple of messages like, "Where's the podcast at?" Yeah, like people actually be listening.
That's sweet,
guys.
We miss you guys too.
We did. Setting up, we didn't even remember how to do it.
Yeah, we was like, wait, where do we put it?
1 week off.
One
That's
week
crazy.
off.
But I'm glad you're healthy.
Yes, thank you.
So
and thank you for your help, and thank you for all your prayers and help, all the things you guys did. Much appreciated.
Anytime, sir.
You're welcome.
Right, Des?
Yep. Speaking of Des, how was your weekend?
It was chill.
Specifically Sunday.
Didn't really do much. Didn't go to church. Oh, and,
why? But she's going somewhere with that.
Why is that? So, how come you didn't go to church?
It's got hot. I didn't go to church because I got the opportunity to shoot with Adidas in University of Miami.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Like, tell us more, please. Okay. I'm sorry.
Wait. You can't give like.
Yeah. No.
All the details.
Wait, hold on. We got NDAs.
No, she ain't signed nothing. But
essentially, like, shut up about it until it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was an opportunity. Mm-hmm. It was cool. It was different. It was definitely me stepping out of my, I'll just post on Instagram bubble that I have. Mm-hmm. But it was cool. Nice. So, Yep.
So we could go to Times Square and we'll see you nice.
You may not be able to recognize me, but
it was cool though. I got to be there. I got to be her assistant for the day.
Come on.
It was at the University of Miami.
Yes.
And with the GOAT, Oscar Castillo. Dream come true. And it wasn't even it had nothing to do with me.
That's a bad man.
Yeah.
That is a bad man right there.
I just thought it was funny because I could have sworn that like a couple months ago on the podcast we were asking like what brands would she want to collaborate with?
If not on the podcast, I think you and I had that discussion. I don't remember if it was on the podcast or not. But I remember us having that discussion of like what brands I wouldn't mind working with, and Adidas was one.
Wow. Right.
So just the fact that it kind of like
come on, man,
worked out.
Fear of God next.
Oh, listen.
Hey.
I
mean, it's right there.
I can see that. One, I can see that. Two, you better make it happen because I need to be there with you when we meet Jerry Lorenzo.
Yeah, I have my 3 assistants.
I'm carrying the bag.
I'm holding the cup. Like, yep.
Yeah. And I'll say this. It's not a internal University of Miami campaign. It's a national.
Ooh.
Yeah, Christina was talking to the peoples and them. So she got all the info.
People talking to the peoples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a national product release.
We're gonna have to talk like after we get
famous.
Because I need to know I need a lot more details. But
I mean, of course, my default is just downplaying it. Like, okay, it's not that serious, because even when I got home, like I was telling my mom about it, and she was like, "So tell me, and I'm like,
oh, so you're gonna be like in Foot Locker when we walk in? You're gonna be on the wall
when I walk,
and I'll be like, I know her.
She might be though.
Oh,
we don't know. We don't know where
or you may not be able to identify that it is me, but it's a me.
You keep saying that. So.
But yeah, so I mean, it was cool, Yeah. So
congrats.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Thanks, guys. Can't get you any Adidas discounts, but
okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming.
Not yet.
When you sign your partnership with them,
yeah,
and then we'll get product and discounts and stuff like that. But it's the open door. Get your foot in.
That's it. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I was just proud.
You can get compensated for your NIL, your name, image, and likeness. No,
he said NIL.
He did.
That's what it is, right?
People say NIL.
NIL.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said I'm gonna get a mill. Yeah. That's what I'm like. Shoot.
I received it. It's been a week. Week off. All right. Next.
Well, jumping into our topic for the day. It's not really a topic, but I just thought it would be cool. Like normally when we have a guest on the show, which we haven't had a guest in a while, but we have one coming soon. We end it with our creative confession segment. And I just thought that was your Usher?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She lipped it.
If you're not watching on YouTube, you have no idea what is happening.
Yeah, my bad.
But we've never answered those questions ourselves. Yeah. So I thought that would be cool to have a little therapy session.
Yeah.
Real quick.
You forgot the tissues.
Notepad. We should have a box of tissues here.
If y'all cry.
On the couch. I might cry. I've been a little emotional this week.
Hey, what's up, bud? You okay?
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
I like how y'all response is like so compassionate. And mine was not.
Like, bro, shut up.
This week.
Man up.
Every week. This week.
Well, I guess you can go first then. The first question of creatives are
Come on,
creative confessions.
Creative confessions. Is what do you struggle with? I believe. What do you struggle with most as a creative?
Correct.
Are you going first?
Oh, am I starting?
Yeah, you're emotional, so I want to see if we'll get you.
Dang.
You said it.
I struggle with
emotional.
I struggle with my creative circle and the people who encourage me.
Essentially creative coming soon.
Me. I think it was something that we actually talked about. I think was it last week at some point in time. Like I forget the term of it, but like basically when you have a project like, hey, this is what we need, boom, and you're starting from scratch with like no template, no like
no point of reference.
Point of reference. Yeah, and it's just like I think naturally I'm just so overwhelmed with the overall picture that I get like just like the block, and I'll literally look at the computer for like hours, sometimes days, to be honest, and
yeah, that's real.
And I just don't know where to start. And then I think slowly but surely I remind myself like, all right, Mark, start with one thing, or like, all right, what's the purpose of what you're trying to do? And like write it down and figure that out, and then just try things. And then from there, it's like, oh,
kind of fleshing out the idea.
You flesh it out, you know? One thing that I think we watched Design Disruptors, and they were discussing like failing fast. So like just jotting out a bunch of like different ideas and testing it to see like what works, what sticks, so that way you can get to the solution. So I think sometimes like remembering that and just putting ideas out there like then kind of helped me to like regain the confidence that I lost for the first couple of days. Man, I suck. Am I really like good? Or, you know? And I actually had that experience this week, you know, at work. So, you know.
What was the experience?
I had to design a landing page for all of our clients. That's the first thing that they're going to see. So I think even that, you think like, man, this is something that so many people are going to have eyes on, and you're responsible with coming up with all the content, all the verbiage, you know, what it looks like, the layout, everything, the experience, right? And I think that pressure can kind of be overwhelming when you think about it in that regard, like, are they going to like it? You know, are people going to say this sucks? What if they don't like it? And then of course you compare it to like other designs or landing pages, whatever. You're like, man, this is so good. You know, like, can I do something like this? You know what I mean? And so I think like all that weight just kind of like fell on me. And then I started doing it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not so bad. This is right.
It was nice too.
Yeah. Had you ever done a landing page before?
I have.
Okay.
For a project for school. But this was like the first one.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Boom. You know, first project at this job, like, boom, this is what you're gonna do.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so, that's good though. It came out really good though.
Yeah. So, you know, there's some changes and things we're gonna add, but I'm actually, and at the end, I'm just like, man, you know, this look all right. You know, my confidence came back, and I'm like, I do belong here. You know, so that's a journey though, man.
Yeah.
I think one thing you said though is like when we were watching the movie, it said fail fast or something like that. But like that's still a hard concept for me to grasp because I still low-key have like a fear of failure. So it's easier said than done. I think when it's like, okay, well, let's just start moving. And if you don't like the idea, just move past it. I hate when I don't like my ideas.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, how do you get past that, you know?
Yeah.
Still working through that, but this is your creative confession, not mine. So
every time we say confessions, I just think Usher. It's a song plays in my head.
Confessions.
We
just
should
when
make
I
like
thought I said
we should make like a jingle, and whenever we do creative confessions, we just hit it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, we should.
Don't worry, I'll record it.
You'll record it? I'll sing it. You could press record. No. I'll sing it.
But it'll be his voice.
Joe can hold a tune though.
Yeah,
can.
Joe good. Say something.
Or not.
Y'all can
Is it
sing
too
it
much
together.
pressure?
Y'all can sing it together.
These are my
5, 6,
confessions.
Oh my God.
And you go to click it, and I've already deleted it.
Yeah, it's already gone.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
All right.
Yeah.
Des, what's the question?
Yes,
I know.
that is exactly what I was gonna ask. I get so like into what the person's saying, I forget.
What do you struggle with as a creative?
Okay, so
The most
is fear of failure, and you kind of hit on it, but that's a real big one for me, to the extent that I won't even do a thing. Like I count myself out before I even attempt to do something. Even with like the Adidas thing, like I call Christina, like, talk to me, encourage me,
Yeah.
please.
I need a pep talk.
Yeah, because it was just, I already count myself out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even when I was approached to do it, immediately my mind goes to like, well, what if like they made a mistake and they meant for somebody else, or like what, like all of these what ifs, and I just psych myself out. So like my big thing is like fear of failing. Like even if I do the thing, just sucking at it and then being like, boo, next, no, what were we thinking? You know what I mean?
Get her off the field. I don't even know if it was
Like-
the field, but like, do that run. That one you did when you ran off, do that. Come back.
Like we like what's going on here, just not with you doing it, you know? But yeah, my thing is just, it's fear, you know, so.
But do you feel like your confidence gets built after you do the thing? So like the shoot, you were like totally in your head about it.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, do you feel like, oh, maybe this is something I could do again? Or
No.
do you feel like you'll go back to like
Yes, I'm like the children of Israel. It's like God,
Of who?
the children of Israel.
read your Bible,
Did I not?
people?
Did I
No,
not
you
say
said
that?
it right.
Oh,
You said it
okay.
right.
Oh, okay.
No.
But you know, like God did. No,
No, you had it right.
You had it
Okay.
right. You had it right.
But you know, like God did a thing, and then they forget what he did. You get what I'm saying? And you complain, and you go through all these. So I constantly do that. I'm like, okay, God, this opportunity, boom, I feel good, and then like time goes by, and I forget the feeling and the door that was open, and I go back. It's like a whole cycle. But yeah, you know.
And I feel like in that is exhausting in itself.
Yeah.
Like you said, because I know it, you know, like you do something and you're confident. Even like, let's look at the fact that we haven't done the podcast in a week, and we're all like, man, how do we do this thing again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when it's time to do that creatively or for like a client or whatever the case is, you just like, it's that whole like experience. It's like if you just take your foot off the gas for just a minute.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know,
I
mean,
feel.
go
No,
ahead,
you
go.
go. No, you go.
You were gonna say something.
I'm gonna forget, so I'm gonna go.
Go.
Okay. I'm backing out of here. No, but see, I forgot. Go ahead.
Oh, sweet
I did.
baby
I did
Jesus.
forget.
Oh, sweetie.
You really are like the children of Israel.
I'm like,
and
yeah,
Dora,
doing all of
Finding
that.
Nemo. Dory.
Dory.
I was
Like, he messed up the joke.
Now watch the ghetto version, the bootleg.
Finding Dora.
Oh my God.
Looking for Dora.
I was gonna ask you, like, did you feel like once after she's still did you feel like after it was done, like you felt like good about it? Like, you know what? In this moment, like now that it's finished, I'm not that bad at this, or like I could do this going forward. Did you feel any type of confidence coming out of it, or none at all?
Yes. Yes. Initially I did, but my problem is I'm very analytical. So like my mind, like one thing, I've already come up with like different scenarios to the thing. So like I easily talk myself out of stuff. It's hard for me to just be in the moment and like appreciate it. Like my mind goes to like it was before with like, well, maybe.
So you don't even feel like you have a time to enjoy the fact that this happened in like.
Yeah, I make excuses for it. Like,
Give me one.
like, oh crap, it's hot. Like I only got picked because other people couldn't do it. So not because they really wanted me, but because others
no other
bowed
option.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
You know?
Sometimes that's just the door you need, though.
What do you mean?
In a sense, like how many cases, like even in professional sports, like, you know, they passed up one draft pick for another one, and it's like, whoa, like Steph Curry, like no one knew he was gonna be that good.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and he's now one of the most prolific basketball players ever.
But I mean, granted, like that wasn't the case, but
Right.
before I knew the real story behind it,
You
like
told
that's
yourself that.
exactly. I had already told myself that.
When the reality is there were multiple options and they picked you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, and so that's something like you can really like hang your hat on. But even in that, knowing that, you still are like, do you feel like you're not fully giving yourself credit?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is something that I am working on.
Yeah. I mean, these are our confessions. So
Yes.
it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not trying to fix
These aren't
them
the
all
pretty
today,
things.
you
This is
know?
part 2.
Right. Part 10. Right. We're still here confessing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say though, like if you did like feel like in that moment, because I know for me sometimes when there's like something I've never done before, and it's like, oh God, like it's scary, like going up to it, going through it, and then but once you get like it's done and over with, it's like, okay, like this wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was gonna say like maybe in that moment, like record a video and say
Yeah.
like so like it's almost
Right.
like going back to like the children of Israel, like you have to remind yourself of what God has done, essentially. You know what I mean? So I think it might be good to have a reference from in that moment to say like, oh snap, like you know what? It's okay. Like you know what I mean? Because you already know how you're, you know, like, okay, I know my mind is gonna be like, yo, what like after a while, I'm gonna start thinking that, oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe they didn't need me. Maybe and so like, oh, but no, I can go back to that bookmark and say like, no, like this was not bad. Calm down. You're gonna have another opportunity.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Christina has a video of me like
I
talking
do.
to myself.
I recorded it just so that I can send it to her.
Yeah.
I just felt like the time hasn't been right yet.
Yeah. No.
But I did something like what you just said. Like I think you should just, when the work comes out, maybe print the pictures or something and you know, put them somewhere. Because when you and I were talking, when you needed that little pep talk, what I did was go back to the shoot that we did in here and I sent you that picture and I was
the way
like,
you did.
yeah. And I'm like, tell me you can't do this.
Yeah.
Like you've done it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's easy to forget.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget, especially when it's not, you know, something that's happening once a week or
Right.
whatever.
As consistent.
But yeah, like
That's
what you
good.
said, like you just got to see it.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's recording a video, printing pictures, like you have it.
And I tell Christina that all the time because I'm like, she sees it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's constantly telling me, but like, I'd be like, maybe I'm blind as a bat because I'd be like, you know, like once
it's hard to give yourself that grace.
Yeah, like the person themselves has to have that revelation on their own in order for them to walk in it. You get what I'm saying? Because then I'm just walking blindly because you said it, but not because I own it and I'm stepping into the thing. You know?
Right.
So,
But I wonder like how much like the humility aspect of that like helps you though.
what you mean?
In a sense, like we all know like arrogant like creatives or singers or artists, whatever the case is, and those people aren't necessarily always fun to work with. But you know, it's like when you have that person who's like vulnerable and like they're more willing to learn, it just makes the process a lot easy. So, you know, and I think even in that, like that opens doors for you because people are like, oh, she was pleasant.
Yeah.
Now they don't know that you freaking out in your head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point though, because even when I was working with Oscar, there were like we talked or whatever, but it was just kind of like, how to say it? Like I'm easy to work with. You get what I'm saying? So like I try to like break the ice, or if I see like someone's nervous at the shoot, like I'm like talking to them, or you know what I mean, to like set the tone or whatever. Like I'm not like, I got this, give me this. Boom.
Right.
Like no. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And I think add one last thing. When you and Oscar were talking, you told me that he told you that he was nervous.
Right.
And Oscar has done this
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
a million times.
Yeah.
But it's what he was doing specifically was on a different level. So he was nervous too. It's like I think that's just a normal thing. You know, I don't think we really discuss like how everybody like
feels that way.
Feels that way. Like
it's a normal feeling.
Yeah.
Like if you don't, I mean, I'm not gonna say if you don't feel nervous, something's wrong. I think to a level, like when you're trying to operate in a new space, You know what I mean? I feel like if you're super confident, like overly confident, then like maybe it's time to start trying something new. You know what I mean? Like exactly. Don't get me wrong. Like you should be confident. Yeah. But I think it doesn't make you scared just a little bit.
Yeah.
You might need to push yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'll go next. I think the thing that I struggle with the most is consistency. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm a great starter. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll have an idea and I can like halfway flesh it through like that. But I easily get like demotivated. Mm-hmm. And then also I'm lazy. So that don't help, you know, because I'm like, oh man, this is great. Sleep. That's also great. And then you lose all your momentum.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Back to sleep.
Wow. Netflix? That's the perfect. It's the perfect storm. Mm-hmm. But I've lost, or I haven't completed so many projects that I wish that I would have, you know, because it's hard for me to keep that motivation, you know, I don't know what it takes to like, you know, just find that balance. And like, do I need to constantly be inspired? What do I like? I'm like, what do I got to do? Because
seriously,
I'd be like, oh yeah.
Well, do you feel like the work inspires you that you're doing?
Like, sometimes, yeah. And don't get me wrong, like I have a lot of opportunities that should inspire me enough to stay consistent. But I don't know. I don't know. The air be coming out of my balloon a lot. And then I have like a great opportunity and then I'm inspired again and I can push again and then, you know, have that moment again and then I get back up and, you know.
Yeah.
That's mine. So if you realize what?
No, I was going to say, do you feel like the newness excites you? And then once it starts, you know, like when you get a phone and you like, oh, I got a phone, it's new. Yeah. But then after a while, like that.
It's just a phone.
It's just a phone. You know what I'm saying? It's not that initial. Yeah.
It could be that. Like I'm one to like latch on to like good ideas, you know, and like purpose and stuff. But like when it's actually, I'm good at, like I said, like starting stuff or like, I don't know. I feel like I have like a motor for that to like get things going. But I'm not sure if I have the motor that I need to just keep things going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
yeah.
It's tough.
That's my struggle.
I think for me, I think there was this quote I recently heard where discipline comes in. For me, like, because trust me, there's stuff every day I don't want to do. But for me, I'm like, but the goals I've set for myself, like, this is where like I really gotta like dig deep and like just sit in front of the computers, or even,
and that's what I be telling myself.
Or even like set hard deadlines. You know?
Yeah, I'd be doing that too. I do all of that.
She's like, I tried it all.
I've tried it all.
Yeah, like even there's like, you know, the pictures from the engagement shoot. I love the people. I just don't want to edit the pictures. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. But I text them like, hey, I'm going to have them to you by Wednesday because I know that's going to like force me to do it.
Right.
So I think for me, I like do stuff like that. Like, I kind of like say something to allow the other person to keep me accountable, because now I know I told you I'm going to get it to you by Wednesday. And if I don't, then I'm going back on my word. And if I go back on my word, then I'm not a man, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like this psychological game I play with myself.
Right.
Which can be dangerous as well, because when you don't meet the deadline, then you're like, I'm not a man. Like, you're right. No, I mean, I feel you though. Like, I feel like there's so many, like, I think tactics that we all try to just kind of motivate ourselves to just get it done.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you if there's a right, wrong, you know, whatever perfect way to do it. But like, I think that's just a constant struggle where it's like unless to me, like if it's a personal deadline, cool. Like when I have like somebody that I know like it has to get done, or like maybe like for an event, like I think that's the thing that kind of kicks it in gear for me, like because it has to be done.
But it's the personal stuff
that can be like, well, I can
There's
I can push it back one more day.
There's a whole TED talk about that, about procrastination, and they say that same thing. Like when there's deadlines, whether it's work or like school or whatever, it's easy to like, you know, have that final push to get the thing done.
Yeah.
But when it's personal life goals, there's no deadline for that except for what you put in place.
I think because when you're dealing with other people, there's consequences. Right?
Yeah.
There's immediate consequences. You don't want to disappoint. You don't want the person not to work with you again. It's like all of these things. But if it's something for yourself, like, you would just make excuses. Like, oh, well, I tried. You know what I mean?
Next week.
Right.
And then you don't want the thing you're doing personally for yourself to feel like work. You know
right.
what I mean?
Right. And here's the thing. I think here's what gets me. I'll have the motivation and I'll be doing good. And then like life kicks in. Whether that's like, okay, now I need to take on a project because I got bills to pay, or I have to like go out of town, and like just life, just random stuff. Like you can have a plan and then you have to go off course. It's hard for me to come back to that. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, well, 2 examples. Creatives are essential, right? In the beginning part of the year, I had a plan. It was going, it's working, and then like all this work starts to come in. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, now I have to deal with that and try to do that. And then once you get caught up in that, it's hard to
switch
refocus.
gears.
Yeah, it's hard to switch gears and refocus the energy. And then also, like I told y'all, I was super excited for my website, right? That I started in
which is beautiful, by
May.
the way.
Thanks.
Yes.
I finished like 50% of the website in like 3 days, 3-4 days. It is now August. August. Months. And it's not done yet. And I'm like, what are you?
And I think even that's the thing about
what's
like
wrong with you?
Like coming out the gates hot. Like you like when you start moving like, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. All right, man. You know what? I earned this break 7 months later.
You hit that curve and you like, hold on.
Right. But right after I started the website, I had to go to New York. And then I came back and then there's client stuff. And then I'm trying to like I'm trying to get Creatives Are Essential back. And then like, it's like all these different things. And it's like, dang, like whenever I have time to like sit and do it, now I don't feel like doing nothing. I want to lay in bed with my Cinnamon Toast Crunch and watch Netflix.
Yep.
Or YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
For weeks. So that's my confession.
Yeah.
Just when I thought
every time.
Every single time.
Joe.
Man, I think for me, it's I mean, there's so many. but I think one in particular, like, is when I have a vision for a thing and I'm moving in that direction and I see what I want. Like I already have the picture in my head and the thing that I'm doing does not look like that. And I have no idea how to get from what I have here and what I just put together, because that don't look like. You ever see them cakes, them fails?
We need to poo. And they look like poo without the H.
Bruh, I promise that's how I feel sometimes. Like I'll do like I'll have like you know, I look at a lot of, you know, photographs and portraits and stuff that like it's really inspiring, you know. I'm like, okay, so look, I want to do that, and then it'll be dope if you on the beach and maybe with this type of light and all this stuff, and then you do it, and it's like,
this look like crap.
This look like doo doo. This is boo boo. Or even like in the editing process, like it's the picture look all right, but it's like, okay, now to get the color and the tones right and to make it look the way I want it to look, and it just I don't know how to get there because I don't know which tutorial to look at in order to figure out how to do it. And it's like, and when I hit those moments, it's like, I'm just gonna stop for now.
The computer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll never come back to it.
Yeah.
And or if I do, it's an extended period of time. And even then it's like, oh right, you open it back up and you just pick back up and be like, yep, still don't know. Nothing. Still don't know. But yeah, I think that's my toughest thing is like knowing like that frustration when it's like, I know what I want and this is not it. Yeah. And I put a lot of time or something into this and it don't look right. Yeah. And it's like, what do you do with it? Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's
like
I ain't got the answers.
I'm about to leave my camera right on top of that shelf if that's the case.
it's a struggle, man.
All right, that's round 1.
Round 1. This might be a 2-episoder.
It might. Round 2.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. That was the first question.
That was just the first question.
No.
We got 4 of these, y'all. Y'all try one more and just see where we go from there. See where we go. The second one says, how do you deal with creative block?
It's easy for me.
That's the one you picked.
I think we kind of. Well, I kind
It ain't no pick. It's a number. It's just the next one.
Honestly, I think it's a mix of what we all said. Like, I just close my laptop.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it.
I walk away. What? I
just close my eyes. I go to sleep.
Well, you know what's so funny about that?
Wait. It's like, you know what I do to really come against creative block? I close my eyes. That's it. I just close my eyes.
Yo, but the funny thing about that, I was at that point last week, and I was like, "What?" I literally asked myself this question. I was like, "What would Christina do in this situation?" And I took a nap on the couch. But there are some times where I do walk away and like for like a couple minutes to an hour or a couple hours and come back. I'm like, oh, it ain't that bad. You know what I mean? And then I'm like inspired and but other than that, I don't really have, or I send my stuff to y'all, like tell me like if it sucks, like even when I sent you the pictures last week, like, hey, what should I fix here?
Man, you wanna?
What should you do?
I'm kidding.
Throw away your camera.
I'm kidding.
But I don't think I do anything outside of that.
I don't think I deal with it. That's bad. Like
I'm kind of on the same wave.
I think it depends, but more so I kind of lean towards like the closing the laptop and then not coming back for a week, a month. Ever.
I had that Instagram page.
So that's not dealing with it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I deal with it.
You have it, you just don't deal with it.
Yes.
Yeah. I just be blocked.
I'm a little blocked up. Yeah.
I wonder how many things outside of just our creative work that we deal with in our life that we don't deal with,
Yeah. Seriously, like.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a joke, but it was actually no.
You see how long I was looking at you? I'm like,
yeah. So
sorry, that was weird.
For me, if it's a client project, here's the thing, if I have time, I will take a nap, do stuff, maybe come back to it the next day. But oftentimes I've procrastinated to the last day, and so there is no take a break and come back. Yeah. And so I'm like,
power through, please.
Power through.
Just
I don't know if this looks good, or I'm not used to having the liberty of like stopping, taking a break and coming back to. But that's again my own fault because I literally will wait until the very last second.
You be thugging it out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it.
Listen, when it's the 9th hour, the 12th, 11th or 11th hour, like Christina will pull 2 all-nighters.
Yeah, I will. 12 o'clock.
Like
1 a.m. 5 a.m.
Well, you just see them that leg crossed over and hers is on It's a wrap.
Now you may not hear from me for the next 2 days because I've just given my soul to this project.
Whenever I go on Instagram and it's alive and you got R&B music in the back, I'm like, yeah, she about to be there all night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Side note, I think I might have pulled something just trying to put my leg over.
Boy, that age is hitting.
I'm just kidding.
How old are you now?
45?
I'm 34 years old. I'm not.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm 30. Dang, don't fix your face like that.
It's like,
you 30.
It's like
you're 6 years from 40, and then you 10 years from 50, and then you gonna be like 60 and old. I'll be thinking like that too.
It's like that with Kevin Hart and the guy from Iron Man.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Dang.
You remember I showed you?
Oh,
yeah. He's like, I'm 56. He's like, dang. And his face looks so like. That was so funny. So sorry. I didn't mean to.
He 56? Don Cheadle?
He does not look it.
No.
Does not look it.
Wow.
No.
It's debatable.
I mean,
Well, he got gray hair, but
he looks older, but he don't look.
he don't look
56.
decrepit. Yeah.
Can you believe that he was what's that guy name on Fresh Prince? Will's friend.
Oh, yes.
He was.
Billy. Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, that was Jazz.
Yeah, that was Jazz.
Never mind.
But he was
on there.
He was one of the friends that
He liked Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a friend from
Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy,
Come a long
right?
way.
Yeah.
Cheetah been around, boy.
All right.
Yeah.
Round 3.
Yes. That's it, yeah. I was gonna say something about
Oh no, go ahead then.
creative
Round
block.
2. You said
But
you'd
I
be
forgot
blocked
what
up.
it was.
Creative block.
I forgot what it
He's
was.
creatively constipated.
Yeah, exactly. We're all
Yeah.
just stopped up. Creative Pepto-Bismol. I don't remember. So we'll just move on.
Indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. No, that's not the new one. That's,
All right, guys. Come back. Come back.
What is your biggest fear as a creative? Biggest fear?
Go.
okay. I was gonna say
Not knowing what to say.
I think for me, not allowing myself to live up to the potential, and then it gets too late,
Mhm.
or however that looks, and not being able to do the thing because I've already talked myself out of it.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
fine.
I'll say for me, like, I think it would probably just staying at the same level
Mhm.
forever.
Yeah.
I think like not growing
Yeah.
to what the stuff you admire and aspire to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that would probably be my biggest, like seeing like moves being made and you not.
Mhm. Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think that's probably the biggest fear, like staying in the same space for either for too long or forever. Like
I'll take that one too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback on that one and
Yeah.
say it's the same, but it being my fault.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like not reaching my fullest potential or getting to the
Mhm.
level where I know that I could get, but because I'm either too lazy or lack discipline or don't push myself, that like I'm the reason that
Mhm.
these things and these opportunities don't happen. And furthermore, like I feel like a lot of great opportunities have fallen into my lap just because God is amazing, right?
Yeah.
But like how many opportunities am I missing because I'm not doing what I need to do,
Right.
you know?
Yep.
So
It's like, and even in those moments where like I'm sure a lot of us, we follow people that, like, oh, they do dope work and, this, I follow this one, that one. And you see like a lot of
The
people
progression.
like moving
Yeah.
and shaking and doing, and it's
Mhm.
like, I'm like, yeah, man, maybe I'll get this video done for service this week. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's like it's
That's real.
so like sometimes those people that were meant to be motivation kind of turn into
competition.
or
comparison.
or just comparison,
That
like,
trap.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the voice. That voice that's like, yeah, see, like not that they're intentionally saying like, look what I'm doing, and you ain't been
You
working.
ain't doing
Yeah.
it,
But
boy.
like, yeah, that conviction when you like look and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I think for me, I think my biggest fear is falling out of love with the work, or like, even like, whether it be videography or taking a picture, whatever the case is, and just coming to a place where I just don't love it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we all remember like that first feeling when we like picked up a camera or you like did a design or something, like, that you're like, I belong here. And then that's that momentum. And then you're doing it. And then eventually at some point you're like,
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
like this?
Mhm.
Or is
This
it?
feel like work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
happened for me several times. I
Yeah.
fall in and out. Like there was a time where I wasn't doing design at all.
Mhm.
Like I just had to. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
But every time I come back, I'm doing something different.
Mhm.
Like I'm still, for example, designing, but now I'm not doing mixtape covers and club flyers. Now
Right.
I'm working on logos or brands or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a fun feeling
Yeah.
at all. So
Yeah, there are I guess like avenue killers.
Yeah.
I think like I know for me, like my first round working at the church, like I had to do everything. And like even to the point where like I'm just now from was like how long the first round was like I don't even remember.
When
It was
started?
years ago. No, like I started like in 2013.
Yeah.
Somewhere around
Started
there.
around the same time.
But like I hadn't done video like I hadn't done video stuff since then. Like
Boy was scarred.
I was like, bro, I can't do it anymore. Like it was just a lot. But like it was a killer. Like and now trying to like ease my way back into that. You know what I mean? So that like, okay, it's not dead. You just been resting. Rise up, Lazarus. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Speak to them dry bones.
Exactly.
Jesus said, no, it's not dead. It's sleep.
He's just sleep. He's just sleep.
Wake up, my child.
And Christina's like, how'd you know?
I'm like, I gotta wake up now, Jesus.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard when what you do creatively as your like outlet is also your profession.
yeah, that's
It's
tough.
very hard.
It's tough.
You know, by the time I'm done working on a project for a client, depending on what the project is, if it's not one that I thought was like a fun project, like I don't want to do anything personally for myself, you know, when the weekend comes or like even, I mean, I don't work a 9 to 5, so my weekend and weeks are all the same. But
Right.
yeah. All right. Well, I think we have time for round 4.
Yeah, last one, number 4. This one should be a little bit lighthearted. Kind of got a little somber for a minute. We're okay, guys. We're not sad. Last one. What advice would you give to other creatives?
You would think I didn't know these questions.
Advice?
Yeah, what advice would you give to other creatives? I guess it kind of in the same avenue that you're in, maybe.
I would say don't compare yourself to others. Where you start is where you start.
Yeah.
I recently for me I actually went back to like my pictures like way down. Like when I first started like taking it seriously and to see the difference. I'm like, from once we came, I used to airbrush the mess out of my face. Like filter. You know what I mean? Like that mug used to be like I had no nose, you know what I'm saying? So like now where like, you know, I understand, you know, the different things and stuff like that. But accept where you are. Don't think that you have to be where someone who has been doing it in the game for like 10 years, that's your starting point. You get what I'm saying? Like just start and be okay with how you're starting because there will be progress.
And your pace is your pace.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. Just to add to that, like, you know, even if you start at the same level, someone may be going faster than you or would look as, you know, faster, but that's just the pace that they're supposed to go on. And you're supposed to go on this pace. You know, one isn't better than the other because it seems like things are happening sooner.
That's good.
I think for me, it's one thing I've learned recently is like, do not be afraid to ask questions.
That's good.
And ask as many questions as you can. Because I think like the insecurity that lies in like, oh man, I don't know this. So if I ask like, you know, like Des or Christina, like, you know, like, hey, what can I do to make this thing better? They're going to look at me like, oh, like, how do you not know that? You say you're creative and you do this, but you don't know. Like,
using us as an example. Oh, okay. I'm like.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of creatives sometimes are just afraid to ask questions. And even like having, you know, people around you that, you know, they're not going to judge you or whatever the case is. Like, I think that's important and be able to say like, hey, Christina, what can I do to make this picture look better? You know, because for whatever reason, you know, but in general, ask questions, whether it's about your software, whether it's about, you know, the gear you're using, whether it's about, you know, another level, like whatever it is, like don't be afraid to ask as many questions because the more questions you have and the more questions that get answered, it's going to just push you and like speed up the process.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good.
And to piggyback off of that, I think not everyone has like what we have. Like a lot of people don't have like a collective of creative friends, but even like you have some influencers that are willing to like talk and share. Like you'd be surprised.
Right.
I'm just playing.
Oh, and like to answer questions, you know what I mean? But like, don't be intimidated. I mean, you know, your message maybe get sent to the abyss, but like those times that they do respond, like ask questions, is I mean, the worst they can say is either no or just not respond, but at least ask, you know?
Yeah.
That's good.
Power of an ask. And I've actually made a lot of connects just by asking questions or like, hey, would you mind helping me with this?
Yeah.
You know?
The very first time I reached out to Oscar was like 2019, I think, and I was asking him a question on Instagram, which again, just me asking questions is me being vulnerable in itself. But you know, we were talking to him yesterday, and he was like, "All right, I'm here. Here's the time to ask me all the questions that you want to ask me." And I'm like,
how do
I don't
be
have
like
any
you?
right now, but like, how to be Oscar? But even in that moment, it was kind of like a dang, like, do I want to ask like too many questions? Because then it's gonna look like I don't know what I'm talking about. Or like sometimes people break things down all the way down as if you don't know anything, and I have to like check my pride in those moments.
This is a camera.
Be like,
This is
Boy,
how
I
you
know
take
what it
a
is.
That's so
screenshot.
real right there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes I ask questions to people and they'll start explaining stuff. It's like, would you be like, I already know that.
Right.
But it's like, you know what, just shut up. Because in there's probably going to be something that you didn't know.
That's hard for
It
me.
is.
That
It
is
is.
really hard. We were doing a shoot a couple months ago. No, like a month or so ago. And they were talking about like this gimbal.
Oh, yeah.
And he's kind of like explaining the gimbal. And I'm in my mind, I'm just like, I got that in my car. I have that same gimbal that you're using in my car right now. So it's like that pride of like, like you said, like keep your mouth, ask your, like, just learn, be okay learning.
It kind of,
go ahead.
sorry, it might relate. I think it does. But anyways, remember Karate Kid when Daniel was painting the fence and he was like painting for hours?
Is that the Jaden version?
Wax on,
No,
wax
this is the
off?
original version.
No, I ain't watched that.
It's
So
been a long time.
Is it wax on, wax off? Is that the same?
That was
well,
the
that
car.
too. That was part of it.
Oh, okay.
So it was like he was literally painting the fence like for hours, like overnight. And then once he was done with the fence, he had to go do the car. And he was just like, "Why am I doing this? Like this doesn't make any sense." And then of course, you know, the movie gets all dramatic and the music starts playing, and he's like, he goes to hit him.
Yeah.
And like he's like, and he's like, "Whoa, I didn't know that."
How?
You know, but even in
I've just
like,
been washing cars.
Exactly.
but now he knows how to block and defend, and he didn't realize the thing that he was just doing so consistently,
Right.
without reason, is a
Yeah.
thing that helped him like develop a skill.
That's real.
You know, so even in, you know, sometimes like you said, like asking a question and then breaking it down so much, you're just like,
Like, I'm not stupid.
but then those things, boom,
Yeah.
you know, it opens up something that you didn't know. You're like, wow.
Yeah. Like little tricks
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that. Definitely.
It sure did. I'll tell y'all when we finish an example.
Okay.
I learned how to
Stay
turn
tuned for the
it
Patreons.
Patrons.
Patrons.
You want to take it?
Yeah, mine would just be shoot your shot. Like, don't
That's
be
good.
afraid of risk. Just, you know, like taking the trip or buying the equipment or DMing a person, whether it's just tell them that they're dope or ask questions or whatever. Just like, don't be afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
And often for me, whenever I hit a moment where I'm like, okay, this is either the dumbest thing I'm getting ready to do, or this is going to be the best thing that's happened. That's like those are the moments that I cherish, because that means I'm risking something.
Yeah.
You know, and I've built a lot of relationships. I've had a lot of opportunities because of those moments where I'm like, okay, I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm gonna just go for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just say, I think for me, I was kind of going back and forth between a couple, but like, I think it's really just pressing. Just keep pressing yourself to go to that next level. We kind of touched on that a little bit already. It's don't allow yourself to get to a place where you're comfortable.
Teach me.
You know, exactly. Like,
Teach me how to press.
seriously, I think again, like finding something that you that inspires you, and then try to recreate it, you know, or like something that's gonna kind of just level up, you know what I mean? To kind of like keep pushing forward towards, okay, if I'm in film, you know, maybe I do like a 30-second TikTok or whatever, but like now, like, okay, now let me do something with a dialogue, you know what I mean? Like let me do something with, you know, 2 actors instead of just me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like to constantly push yourself to do something on the next level. I'll also say, like, I think it's big to find a mentor if you can help it. Get a mentor, like somebody that you can really ask questions to,
or multiple.
Like multiple. Like it doesn't even have to just be one. Like because I just think that's almost invaluable to me. Like I when I started my like the business side of my photography and stuff, I had a couple that I've known for a while that they had their own business, and they helped me a ton because your boy was out here tripping. You like just straight wild and like basically working for nothing. You know what I mean? And they helped me with so much, like on the business end and just even on the work side of it, you know, like helping me work smarter and not harder. So if you can help it, if you can find someone like almost going back, like shoot your shot with people and try and find a mentor, like, or several that can really, you know, help you out in the long run.
That might be a good topic for like maybe the Patreon or like, you know, like
I like how y'all keep
it's
referring to this. People gonna be confused. They're gonna be like, "Where's the Patreon?"
We don't have it. We just speaking it into existence.
Yeah, but like finding your value and like how to price your work, you know.
Yeah,
I think that's something that people might be.
Yep. And I'd be like,
I mean, every field is different, so I think that'll kind of be tough. But
One more thing too. I think going back to what, you know, one of our guests, like Tyler Babin was saying, like if this is not something that you're willing to practice, then this might not be something for you to do like professionally.
Right.
You know, maybe it's just a hobby. But if like just let's be honest. Like if this is not something that you're willing to practice and do to the point where just it becomes natural, like it's just like it's this camera or this paintbrush becomes an extension of who you are. Like it's almost like its own body part, then it might not be the thing for you. You know what I mean?
I feel so convicted.
I mean, I'm preaching to myself.
We'll be walking with our cameras for the rest of the week.
Exactly.
Right. You taking pictures today?
Nope. Just want to hold it. It's just an extension of me.
That's good. Real quick, just to piggyback off of what you said about mentorship, when you do find a mentor, you have to submit. You know, like a lot of times, like listening to other people isn't the easiest because you feel like, well, I know already, but then that's not mentorship. You get what I'm saying? Like you have to hear the hard stuff and take the critique, take the criticism, you know what I mean? So don't just take it lightly. Like, oh, I got a friend that I can just, right. No.
There is nothing like someone asking you for help, but then they come with all the answers and they don't want to take anything. But just like, but how you? I'm trying to help you out here.
Right.
You want to listen or you want to talk?
Which, first of all, I want both.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good stuff, guys.
Yep. These were our confessions.
Just when I thought I said all I can say, my chick on the side said she got.
He went. I thought he was gonna do like a.
Like I did, but it didn't come quick enough.
This
is the first opportunity.
He reverted right back to Usher.
Anywho, all right. What inspired y'all?
Actually, I'm
gonna go first. What inspired me was the shoot from yesterday, and like you doing your thing, and like, you know, not doubting yourself, not staying in your head, doing it, seeing it through, and it turned out dope. And also getting to like talk to Oscar and like kind of start maybe developing like that relationship there. So that's mine.
Cool. I'm gonna go second.
Thanks.
I didn't know what she was gonna say, so I was like, if it has anything to do with the shoot, I'm saying it first.
No.
You don't care. I'm just
care.
I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you.
Speaking of, never mind. I'm gonna tell you. Actually, I'm gonna tell y'all, but this might be offline. But what inspired me this week has actually been the Usher 8701 album. It's 20 years old last week. 20 years old.
We old.
And in that, I've been listening to like a lot of like Usher, his album TLC. Like, what y'all laughing for?
No, I just picked up on what she said.
Oh,
It's my bad. I'm listening though.
it's okay.
You'll
So
hear it in the
Joe,
playback.
nah, I've been just listening to Usher, TLC, like a lot of old school music, and it's been falling in love with music again because music is,
Especially back then.
yeah,
When you finna
so
drop that
good.
album, that single.
When Joe press record.
Here we go.
But
We're
yeah,
recording
that's
now, so
Go ahead.
Y'all want me to sing?
we'll
Kristen,
save
what-
you for last.
I was gonna say I ain't got nothing, but I'm actually gonna.
You better think.
You guys actually in the group chat, you guys were talking about Malice at the Palace, the documentary, and apparently Malice at the Palace was just like one episode of the Untold series or whatever, but that opening, I guess for Untold,
Yes.
like, it is dope.
Yes.
And I think even seeing it,
Yeah.
how they did the
I don't remember
lighting,
what it looked like.
Oh, it's
Well,
amazing.
With the
It's
TV.
that stuff too,
Mhm.
like, but like
That was cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
there was a shot where a guy was like kind of like shooting the ball at the court, like just in a park or something.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like they had to have this like huge light up there, and it was like moving because the shadows would kind of like move while he's just on the court and stuff like that. And it was amazing. Like me and William were talking about it when we were watching it, because it's just, to me, it was just so dope. And I think it was just one of those
Poetic.
moments, huh?
It was very poetic.
Yeah, and it was just beautiful because like I think it was one of those moments where I kind of like remembered why I loved like cinema, you know what I mean? Like, and it just like the shots, and like it almost looked like if you were underwater and like there was just like a light shining, like how like the what it looked like that on a court while this guy is like, you know, just shooting around. And I'm like, yo, that's dope. And like
I'm
just
gonna
that
have
whole
to rewatch it.
opening
For
was,
real, I don't remember
I
that at
remember
all.
that.
yeah, that was probably, I mean, the whole thing is amazing. It was a great documentary. But I just remember that opening, the intro for Untold was just really dope for me. So that's my inspiration.
I'm really trying to think. I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
No water.
I just
shadow
remember
thing.
feeling sad for Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah.
Him and Reggie ain't got a ring.
And then
All
Reggie
'cause
started
that fight.
crying.
He did in that
Yeah.
interview. But I'm sorry. This is even, like the lighting, even like in those interviews, the angles and the lighting that they used was, I just love, like William mentioned it. He's like, I love when they break the rules of composition, right? And it was just so cool because like it wasn't your traditional interview lighting. Like it was like a heavy emphasis on like the hair light. And then like just a little bit of key light, just a little bit. And like, it just really gave that dramatic feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I got to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, it's good.
For more of the cinematic appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good one. We got all four.
Yeah. Wait, did we?
Yeah.
Let's
Everybody?
wrap it up.
I think 2
Everybody
and 3.
won.
Wait,
Thanks
Des,
for
did you?
tuning in.
I don't think Des did. I'm like, wait a minute. No.
You almost snuck out of here.
Let's wrap it up, guys. No, mine is
Thank you.
talking. I have one though.
Talk.
That's why I went third. God, I knew you had one.
Mine is the shoot on Sunday, but more so like talking to Oscar and like hearing his advice and stuff like that, and just his accountability. You know what I mean? Like him asking the tough questions and you not really having the right answer. You have like, because I don't want to. Because I don't.
Because I'm
you know
lazy.
what
I'm
Yeah.
lazy,
Right.
Oscar.
You know, and just
My baloney has a first name.
but yeah, just talking to him, and you know, he's accomplished, you know,
Yeah. So much.
big things, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And just to hear him like pinpoint me and see like what I've done, and he's like, yeah, you can do this. You know what I mean? It's not like, no, he's like, yes, like why haven't you? You
And
know
he
what I'm saying?
called it. He called Lululemon 2022 for Des. She gonna be shooting for them.
Called a shot.
Yeah. You know who that is?
Yeah, I know. Lululemon.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
of.
No, of.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He
So-
we it. So we gonna see, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna
clothes
happen.
expensive.
You know, see, it is expensive.
really
They're
are.
nice though.
But they expensive. I'm like, how much for some tights?
Yeah. Jen, my trainer, she actually mentioned them today because she got gifted a pair, and she said they feel so good though. Like
Yeah.
They better.
they're nice.
I'm sleeping.
Do they
on
make the
things.
fat come off?
They better.
I'll
Look
buy
at
some
that. Joe in the leggings. Like,
The TikTok leggings.
yeah. That makes your booty.
Oh,
Hey,
Oh
Nike.
my gosh.
The one that.
I'm tempted to get them just to see if they work.
Oh god.
You know?
Isn't TikTok the evidence that it worked?
No, I don't know them people. They could have had like booty something. You know what
Booty
I'm saying?
something?
I think the
Implants?
leggings are cheaper. than
But I'm saying they
implants.
could have already had that. They could have
Nah.
already had a booty. I don't know. I'm gonna try it.
They spouses wouldn't be so surprised if they were someone who
That's
normally
true.
had a.
It's okay. I'll just do it.
All right, well, that's another one. Thanks for listening. Thank you for bearing with us as we had our health and safety protocols.
Yes.
That caused us to, whatever.
Forfeit a game.
Forfeit a game. I like that.
Yeah.
But we back. So thank you for listening. I am Christina.
It's your boy Mark Lee.
Des.
And I'm Joe.
Peace.
Later, guys.